Come, no more way you cry. Come, there's a reason why. If you had the chance to see the future, would you try? Come, if you will, so will I. Oh, shut up. Yo, what's up, people? This your boy P. Ross back in the building with another video. Today we're talking about Prince's 1994 album, Come. Yes, Come. Okay, that was the CD. I also have it on cassette. This is actually a sealed copy, hasn't been opened yet. So, Come was released August 16th, 1994. With the success under the most beautiful girl in the world. Well, let me say this first. Since I just mentioned the most beautiful girl in the world, I had read in a book, magazine or something, that Warner's actually told him he would never have another big hit. Most beautiful girl in the world proved him wrong, because it was a big hit. And Most Beautiful Girl in the World was recorded under the symbol, the love symbol, in which Prince changed his name to at the time. When Come came out, it clearly, and I think there was like a lot of confusion, because when the Most Beautiful Girl in the World came out, it was under the symbol. Then Prince came out with Come. I think people thought that he actually changed his name back. But if you actually look at the album, it clearly marks the death of Prince on there from 1958 to 1993. So that's kind of crazy. And the cover also looks like it's very dark and sinister looking, to the point to where if you look at the back where the steps of the church is, it's almost funeral-like. But that particular church is outside of the famous cathedral in Barcelona, Spain. As far as the music on Come, except for 2 songs on Come, came from Paisley Park sessions between January and May of 1983. Race, the track Race, which is one of my favorite tracks on this album, was originally cut at the record plant in LA in November of 1991. But it was actually reworked in 1993. And the second track was Let It Go. And it's the only track written for Come and was recorded at Paisley Park in March of 1994. 7 out of the 10 songs on Come were part of the Glam Slam Ulysses. And even like the Glam Slam Ulysses was credited to the symbol. The last track on Come, Orgasm, was actually an original part of Poem and Glam Slam Ulysses. But also Orgasm was actually Vanity, from the Vibrator intro, I think. That was her on there. In Glam Slam Ulysses, there were 3 songs that wasn't originally included in that, which was Papa, Solo, and Let It Go. And those are the only tracks not on Glam Slam Ulysses. There were also a couple remixes that popped up, on the Crystal Ball set in '97. You had Loose, which was more of a remix, and it was called Get Loose. And then Dark had a remix, So Dark, on Crystal Ball. So that was very, very interesting right there. You know what I'm saying? I actually like the Get Loose. In the beginning, I get to that when I get to the track listing. Another interesting fact about another remix from Come. It was a funky instrumental. And shout out to the homeboy Coach Mike. When Prince did the music for Video LP on BET back in the 90s, that Pheromone instrumental was that theme music for that song. Shout out to Coach Mike. What's so crazy about Come is that despite Prince's lack of marketing, it actually did pretty good. It reached number 15 on the Billboard 200. It was on the charts for like 10 weeks. It actually reached number 2 on the R&B and hip hop charts, and it was on the chart for like 13 weeks. But what was crazy was the outstanding radio play that Let It Go, when it was released, actually got. In the UK, Come debuted at number 1, you know, which is hot. But there were also 2 singles released from this album. The first one was Let It Go, alright, and it had a few remixes on it, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much, I think I like all the remixes on this. You had the Caviar Radio edit, the Cavi Street edit, there's an instrumental on the Cool Tip Sherm Stick edit, then you had the original album version. Yeah, I like all these on here. The Cavi edits and the instrumental were remixed by QD3. On the Cool Tip, on the Cool Out Tip, was remixed by Gerald G. Bomb. And the Sherm Stick was remixed by Jay Swift for Fat House Productions. So I thought those were pretty hot. Again, that was the maxi single for that. And then we also have the Let It Go 12-inch vinyl, along with the actual Let It Go 45 right there. And the second single is probably my favorite between the two, Space. Okay. Now, when it comes to Space, we also have the 12-inch vinyl for that right there. All right. But the crazy thing about Space is arguably one of the best remixes Prince has ever made. The Universal Love remix. I think this remix is awesome. I think it's spectacular. And it's actually one of my favorites. You know, I mean, the words to the original and the lyrics to the original music is already great, Space. But this just kicked it up another notch with this song. Now let's get to the tracks. We have Come, track 1. Funky, 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 funky. You know, very nasty. You know what I'm saying? You know, he talk about going down and kissing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? Very, very erotic. I'll just say that. Then you have track 2, Space, which is very, very, very one of the best songs on this album. You have Pheromone, another one of my favorites. Pheromone really made me realize that sometimes you don't necessarily have to use a curse word or anything that is considered like nasty in terms of saying it in order to actually be nasty. One of my favorite lyrics in this song is, her eyes are closed, but there's no penetration. She just makes him point the pistol to his nose while he masturbates. You know what I'm saying? That's a high line right there, you know. Then you got Loose with the techno sound. In the beginning, I wasn't really with the techno. Not gonna front. I wasn't really with the techno. But I seen Prince perform Loose on one of the Glam Slam Miami show. I think it was Glam Slam in Miami that he performed that on, and it was just hype. And when I saw that, I was hooked after that. Then you got Papa. Papa's a very interesting track. It actually makes you think, was this song actually autobiographical in which he was doing? You know, but it's a great song. Race, again, this is one song that I feel like Prince was lyrically at his best when he was rapping. There are a lot of things Prince do concerning rap that I don't necessarily like, but Race was one of his great hip hop moments. Dark, Love Dark, classic Prince ballad. You know what I'm saying? For me, in the fashion of songs like Do Me Baby, Insatiable, you know, you could go Beautiful Ones, you could go on and on and on with that. But great track. The remix So Dark that came out on Crystal Ball, I actually prefer the one on Come. The one on Crystal Ball is good, but I actually prefer the one on Come. Solo, vocally, one of Prince's best songs. One of Prince's best songs vocally. It can't be matched by a lot of vocally sung songs by Prince. It's like Prince put his heart and his soul into this song, and it came out great. Let It Go. Let It Go. Another one of my favorites. You know, it kind of felt like when he was saying it, like singing it, he was actually coming out to actually do something like really, really interesting. You know what I'm saying? All my life I kept my feelings deep inside. Never was a person to let somebody know. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, it was a changed Prince. But again, looking at the album cover, this album was the death of Prince, and maybe he was stating he was letting everything go from his past, maybe. Since he was now the symbol when he actually wrote this song in 94. 93, right? Wait a minute. In 94, yeah. 1994, he wrote Let It Go, which was the last song to be included on this album. Then you got, of course, Orgasm. Again, this particular song, I think it's like almost like the ending to like Poem. But again, it's like Vanity. When they had did, they were working on the second Vanity 6 album, and they had did the vibrator intro, and you kind of heard her on there playing with the vibrator or whatever. So overall, I think Come is a really slept on album. And again, with Prince's lack of marketing and promotion for this album, it actually went gold. You know what I'm saying? Which at the time was a great standard. So, you know, very slept on album. I think it's funky. I think it's hot. You know what I'm saying? If you have not heard Come, you need to pick this album up and check it out. One of the best. Peace. This your boy P. Ross. Shout out to Coach Mike. Shout out to CMS. Shout out to JQ Vault. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for supporting and watching our videos. Really appreciate that. And there's more to come. Just stay tuned. Peace. Be wild.